Hello everyone, it's Honey Lou. So I'm going to do a video response to Julie at Birdhouse Tarot. She is new to TarotTube, so please go subscribe to her and check out her tag she made. So the tag is called hashtag a year of tarot decks, and basically what it's about is if you could take only one deck per month, what decks would you take? And obviously, no brainer, you know, the Rider-Waite-Smith. There is the Noble or Marseille, and then there's the Thoth. So these would automatically go. So I am choosing to pick decks that I aspire to get to know more and just be a little bit different. Okay, so now we'll start with January. In January, I would pick the Grand Tarot Baleen. I feel like this deck is a very earthy deck for the Capricorns. Very beautiful, and I definitely aspire to get to know this deck more, decode all of the bottom. I've mentioned that before, and this deck was a unicorn deck for a really long time, so I'm really happy that it's in my collection. So I definitely would love to take this deck with me in January if I ever went on a trip. It would be perfect. I wouldn't even feel bad about it. But yes, it's very beautiful. Okay, so February, Aquarius season. Let me put this back first. And obviously I knew what I would pick for February, and that would be The Goddess of Love Tarot by Gabby Herstick, because it is Valentine's season. It's about love. Aquarius, this deck is very eccentric, and Aquarians are known to be very creative and eccentric, very unique, very different. Obviously you could tell because, you know, the Aquarius people that made tarot decks. There's Crow's Magic by Londa Marks, there's Kim Kranz, there's even Pamela Coleman Smith, I think, or it's either Rider-Waite-Smith, who, maybe they both are Aquarius, I'm not too sure, but I know one of them was. But there seems like there's a lot of really cool Aquarians that made a lot of really unique decks that are a big part of tarot history. I don't think Gabby Herstick is a Aquarius, but I think she's a Gemini. I feel like she is, and she's an author. But I think this would just be a perfect deck in general for Aquarius. It's so beautiful. Perfect for February month. So that's the Goddess of Love Tarot. Okay, so March. March, I would take the Serpent Fire Tarot. This is for the Pisces. Pisces are known to be the mystics of the zodiac sign, and so I thought this would be a very perfect deck for March. Also, I was introduced by this deck by Cheyenne Shining, and she makes content on TarotTube, and she's a Pisces, so this reminds me of her, and it just feels like a very cosmic, mystical deck for me. So this would be perfect, and I definitely want to get to know this deck more and to study the guidebook, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know this deck. It's really beautiful. Okay, now we got April. We got our Aries. So my Aries March or April pick, I picked the Hermetic Tarot. I think this deck is perfect for April. It's very fiery to me, very bold, very in your face, and I would love to take this deck with me to learn, and I think I would for sure. It's very strong, and I just feel like it's a very, like, you know, Aries are very, like, they are leaders, natural born leaders. They are kind of, you know, they stand out from a crowd, and they make themselves known. And I feel like this deck definitely stands out from the crowd, and so this would be perfect for April. That's the Hermetic Tarot by Godfrey Dawson. Or Dowson. Dowson. Okay. So now we are on May. My Taurus babies. What did I want to pick for Taurus? Let's do the Tarot Masonic. So this deck feels very spring to me. I've had this deck for a while, and I haven't used it since I've got it, and I would try to pull it out and I would never get to pull it out, but lately I've been pulling it out. So it's been working really well, and there's times where like, should I just sell it? And then I'm like, no, it'll have its time, and now it's having its time. But I feel like this deck is a very springy deck. Also, this deck feels like a very Sagittarius deck to me too. This would have been like one of my picks for a Sagittarius, but it feels very spring to me, so. That's the Tarot Masonic by Jean Bionark. Right? Okay. So now we are on June. June. Let me think for a moment. Okay, I know. I would take the Medieval Scapini. I love this deck so much. It's not a deck that I grab all the time, but I really love it, and I would never get rid of this deck. And so I do aspire to get to know this deck more and work with it. I do know like the images like in the back of my mind, but I never read with it. It's just never been a deck that I, wanted to read with, but I just love it so much and I would never get rid of it. And this is a vintage copy of the deck. I think it's the first edition. The box was destroyed, so I keep it in this bag my mom made. I love the star card. So beautiful. Okay. And then July, we got our Cancer babies. Cancer babies are very homey, they're very comforting. It's all about food and being comfort and them, loving to comfort people. And my son's a Cancer, and I would take the Medicine Woman Tarot. I got the companion book for it, and it's really good. It's packed with information. There's like meditations. There's also just so much going on, and I'm studying that deck right now actually, but this would be a deck that I would take with me in July. It feels like a very comforting, homey feel, hang out with family gatherings or gatherings in general, and just being there for each other. And it feels like a very Cancerian deck, very compassionate, very sweet, very loving, not too moody, but it's I think it's a perfect Cancer deck. I have a lot of Cancer friends too. And I always felt like Cancers never really felt like water signs. Probably because they're really good at hiding their emotions. No, I guess they do, but they feel like they're a little bit more, like they're really tough. Like they don't, they don't take shit, and they're cool. I don't know. I have a lot of Cancer friends. That's all I gotta say. Really good at hiding their feelings. And they say whatever they're really blunt too. A lot of my Cancer friends are very blunt. They just say what they want and they don't care. And that's probably one of my favorite things about them. Okay, so now we're in August. Right away I knew what I was picking for August, and that is the Shakespeare Tarot by Luigi Scapini. So Luigi Scapini, he is a Leo, and he actually helped restore the old Visconti deck, which is a cool fact about him. So this deck would be a deck that I would love to get to know. So same thing with the Medieval Scapini. Decks that I love, but decks that I don't work with, and decks that I aspire to work with to get to know. Very beautiful artwork. Would never get rid of this deck. The cardstock is luxurious. This feels like what you would expect a deck to feel like, and that it's so beautiful. I love the detailing. Love the little babies. So this would be my August deck. It doesn't feel very fiery to me, but I guess it does. It's very charming. It has humor. It's romantic. Yeah, I guess Leos are very romantic people, confident, very lot of confidence. I'm a Sagittarius, so all of my exes were either fire signs. They were either Sagittarius, they're either Aries, or they're either a Leo. I think the Leos got me the worst. But I think the most long-term relationships were with Sagittariuses like me. But yes, gotta love those Leos. This is beautiful. I think of Tammy Pie every time because she pointed this card out, and I probably wouldn't have noticed how beautiful it was until she pointed that out. But it's so gorgeous. Love the rosy cheeks. So stunning. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was just making sure I had 12 because I felt like I was missing something. Okay, so now, okay, so June was Taurus. So I'm used to like the the birth charts, houses, one, so Aries, it starts with Aries, and then it starts with Taurus, Cancer, Leo, or no, it goes to Gemini, right? Yeah. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the next one is September. That's my Virgos. The Virgos. What would I take for a Virgo deck? Automatically, I'm thinking of the Cazandler Tarot, but I know the Cazandler Tarot really well. Maybe I'll take the Dodal, because you know what? Actually, I don't really know the Dodal very much, and I feel like this is a perfect Virgo deck. So the funny thing is, I put this deck away, and I was like, I'm not using it. I'm gonna put it away, and then after a few days, I'm like, nope, it's coming back on my desk. So now it's on my desk again. This is my favorite Dodal. It's very cleaned up. It's just very, I don't know, it's very beautiful. I'm more of a Noble girl, but the Dodal this one is amazing. I just love the cardstock. And, for some reason, the Marseille decks just feel very earthy to me. And so yeah, this is what I would pick for September. Love that star card. What other cards I want to show? It's really beautiful though. I just love it. It's just so big in your face, and I love this card. He is my favorite. The Lovers is gorgeous. It's just so bright. Okay, so now we got October. October, Libra, Halloween season. Let me put this away first, and then I had something picked out for this too, and now I don't know what I was doing. Here it is. 1 second. I got it. I would pick... Oops, sorry. The Witch's Tarot. I just got this deck. And I love it. And this is my first photography deck. Well, actually, no, I had one. I forgot the name of it, but I rehomed it. But this one just feels really powerful and really dark. Perfect deck for October. It's very sexy. It's very dark. It's like shadow work. It's provoking. But it's very powerful. Very sexual too, just with like the women. Very seducing and dark. I love the darkness in this deck. I'm really happy to have this deck in my collection. I love that Justice card. This is my favorite card of all. I love her hair, I love her body, I love the coloring. It's really stunning. And I've seen the Kickstarter for the white one. This one feels like the OG though, so I'm really happy to have this one. And eventually maybe I'll get the other one, but yep, this is my only photography deck in my collection, and I think it would be perfect to work with in October. And this is the Witch's Tarot. Oh, you know what? Now I know what I was going to pick. So let me go grab it because I want to work with it. So I'm cheating, and for October, another one, I would pick the Witch's Tarot. I really love this deck. I've wanted this deck for a really long time. I really like this style of art, and there's a lot of my favorite cards in it. Also, it has a really meaty guidebook, and I love the backs. There's something about this deck that I really love, and I'm really happy that I have, because I feel like a lot of people own this deck, and now I feel like I'm kind of cool to have this deck. I love this Three of Cups so much. One of my favorite Three of Cups. I love this Six of Cups. This Devil, or Death. And it has my favorite Temperance card. It's like little cheesy. I love that. It's so cute. Love the Fool so much. I love the Star. Her body's beautiful. And I would love to get more decks like this too. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about these decks. Like the Wizard Tarot would be really cool to get. This is my favorite Temperance card in the whole wide world. I think it's so beautiful. The Queen of Swords, my favorite. She is so pretty. I love this. It's so funky. Okay, so now November. November is the Scorpio season. And what deck would I love to take? Oh, I would take the Wild Unknown Tarot. So I know this deck really well, but I am planning to do another deep dive with this deck. I actually found a backup copy for the indie, a brand new sealed one, so I was really stoked. So now that I have a backup, I'm able to use this deck more because this is like one of the decks that I want to keep in really good condition because like when my kids get older and they want to ask questions about tarot history and stuff like that, and I would talk about the Wild Unknown and how this deck changed tarot history and it kind of changed the perspective. And I think this deck is a very popular deck to have, and yeah, it just changed a lot of things. And so this deck does feel like, you know, it is my Aquarius deck, but also it's that Scorpio death rebirth, a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work, a lot of darkness, playing with the darkness, and it's beautiful. So yeah, this is something I am planning to work with. I actually have been working with this deck. I love that it pairs with everything, and yeah. I got my little pocket one out too. I love it. Love it. Okay, and then the last one, the December. December, I would pick. Sorry, excuse me. I would pick my Carol Herzer deck. And this is the Snow Starlight. Very beautiful. I haven't worked with this deck yet that much. I did when I first got it, then I started getting a bunch of other decks, and then I kind of just kept it away, but I'll take it out and shuffle it, use it a little bit, and then I'll put it right back. But I would love to have a really deep connection with this deck. It's stunning. And it feels like a very Christmas December deck, like I mentioned before. And it's so unique, and yeah, it just makes me think of the holidays. Now, if we were thinking of oracles, which I just want to show one oracle because I'm super excited about having, is Season of the Witch oracle. I've always wanted this deck. I always wanted all the series, but so let me show this one. It has, I love that green color. Really beautiful messages. Oh, my son woke up. He's knocking on the door now. Okay, so that is my VR for hashtag A Year of Tarot Decks by Julie at Birdhouse Tarot. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you go over to Julie's YouTube and say hello and make her feel welcome. Okay, thank you. Bye.